So let's address the elephant in the room, which is this old adage here. How do you eat an elephant?
One bite at a time.
Do you have time to eat an elephant one bite at a time? Does anybody have time to eat an elephant one bite at a time? Raise your hand if you really have time. I can't believe half of you are still here, by the way. It's amazing. No, how do we eat an elephant really? All right, we're the pack of strategic aligned lions. Now think about your culture. Are they aligned at the level that you want them to be aligned? Are they all playing off the same playbook? Are they in a watch your back culture or a got your back culture? And if you're in a got your back culture, you actually have a shot, because that's where true conviction comes in. And that means you need to know your cause. There has to be clarity. I'm Ryan Berman. I'm the founder of Courageous. We're a special forces change consultancy. I also own a courage brand called Sock Problems. Each sock's a different problem in the world. And I'm the author of Return on Courage. I do think any willing business being a brand can return on courage. Writing the book, there were 4 very alarming truths of what I call the business apocalypse. The first is companies are perishing at an alarming rate. This minute will be a downer. 52% of the Fortune 500 since 2000 are gone. That number will hold. The thing that got you here won't keep you here. But we're so focused on iterative growth versus exponential growth, we're not building any processes to push our companies forward. Number 3, as we mentioned, you need time, but you don't have time. What happens when somebody leaves your company? You got to slow down again and hire new people. So we have turnaround time issues with process, and we've got turnover time. And the number 4, and this was the biggest surprise, is that we're literally wired to fear change. Think about what's calling the shots. Your central nervous system. Central, at the core of you. System, operating system, computer. Nervous. Don't say that. Don't think that. Don't suggest that. The experts say that 95% of us are freeze or flight, and only 5% are fight. So look around. There's 100 people in the room here. 95 of you are stuck. 5 of you are not. Congrats to the 5. That also means, right, 95% of us are driven by fear versus the 5% that are driven by courage. When you saw that grave danger slide earlier, that slide is about opportunity, because you know your competitors are stuck. So how do you train your teams to get unstuck? That means 95% of the competition is in preservation mode, and only 5% are in liberation mode. So that's why I feel so strongly about the word courage. I see courage as the ultimate competitive advantage. And if you can learn how to use it, if you can learn how to unlock it in your teams, you actually have a shot. The problem is we have the wrong idea of the word. We think it's careless, or we think it's reckless, or we think it's anything but calculated. But if you're ever going to do anything meaningful, it starts at the center with courage. This is the definition that sent me down the rabbit hole, because there's no utilitarian value to this definition. Does anybody want to do scary things? Raise your hand if you want to do something that's frightening. Please step forward. And I'm taking a step back with the rest of you. So I interviewed the 3 Bs over 1,000 days: the brave, the bullish, and the brainiac. I wanted to know how Navy SEALs did what they did, or tornado chasers, or astronauts. I didn't understand how could companies like Apple and Amazon, being so big, are actually propelling forward and being agile. And I came up with this definition of courage you can use in real time, which is knowledge plus faith plus action equals courage. And it has to be all 3. Knowledge and faith with no action is paralysis. I think every brand on the planet, and don't lie to yourself, sits somewhere on this spectrum between coward brand and courage brand. Your next generation workforce will not stay at a coward, stasis, or iterative brand. There you go. 43% of millennials will be in a new job in the next 2 years. It's the highest rate in 16 years. So you have to train them. You have to give them skills. If you're not training them, the good ones, they're gone, or as I like to say, they want to have their cake, they want to eat it too, and they want the cake to be gluten-free. And do you blame them? So as leaders, because you all are leaders, I don't care what your title is, your job is to bridge the gap between the C-suite and the next generation. The problem is we need to know how to be courageous before we need it. It's a break glass before emergency situation. Shameless promotion for my book, sorry. The front half of the book is the now, and the back half is like the how. Like, how do we do this in a calculated fashion? And if we're talking about courage, we're really talking about change. We need courage in the messy middle. And it's up to you, whether it's a culture change, a story change, or an innovation change to drive that. Because if you hire the right people, they'll take you where you want to go. Thank you very much.